suppose my involvement with James goes back to a mutual friend that we had who had been doing some tandem work with James, because James has predominantly been a stoker on the tandem and needs a sighted pilot to ride with him. And I got involved because I actually have some Irish heritage, and initially we were looking at preparing to go to Rio together. But I'm racing on a British licence, and the UCI, the International Cycling Body, essentially said that I wasn't able to change onto an Irish licence just for the Olympics. So, I was a bit gutted about that, and I think James was as well, which is why he embarked on this project. And I was keen to be involved with what he was doing as much as possible, because I think it's amazing.
So how long have you known James?
Well, I've known James about 2 years now, but it's only really been in the last few months that I've got to know him really well, because I was taking him to training sessions and helping him with his preparation and sort of coaching him and giving him tips. Because I have my own track experience, and one thing that I really thought was really beneficial was that I was riding on the track with him, so I was sort of giving him live feedback on what he was doing rather than standing on the sides and watching. So
that must be very useful for him.
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, we certainly identified some key areas for him to work on at the beginning of the process, rather than letting them sort of fester and become bad habits. And certainly most of those issues I spotted from riding with him as opposed to standing and watching. So I think the whole process that we've been through it works really well for both of us.
You sound like you've got quite a lot of experience in cycling. How long have you been doing it?
Well, I've been cycling in the sense of actively wanting to go out on my bike for more than just transport for about 7 or 8 years now.
And do you do it professionally?
No, I'm at university studying geography, and I've been doing the university cycling events and a little bit outside of that, but I haven't put in as much time as is required to be a professional rider.
Would you like to?
Well, I think part of me, of course, would, because, how cool is that? You get to ride your bike for a living, and also the whole sort of lifestyle of being a professional athlete, I have a lot of respect for. But at the same time, it's a really difficult job. It looks great, but there's a lot of hours that go in that don't never get seen. And I'll be graduating end of this year, and I've got a lot of options as to what I could do. So I'll just sort of see how it goes, and maybe come back in 2 years and see what's happened. But.
Great. And what James is doing is quite unique, isn't it? Have you ever seen anybody do anything like it before?
Well, absolutely. I think the main thing for me about James is his determination to do it. I think there probably are some individuals out there who are capable of what James is doing, but none of them. Well, I don't think that any of them have the sort of attitude that James has had towards this, which is just that he was unable to ride a tandem, so he thought, stuff it, I'm going to do it on my own. And I think that really is what should be sort of celebrated here today. And I think he realises that, and that's why he's so calm at the moment, because even if everything doesn't go to plan, the point is that he's still prepared for it, and he still turned up and he still did it.
Sure.
And I think that really is the unique aspect of this, but I really hope that it doesn't stay a unique aspect. I hope more people take this on.
Excellent. And of course it is an inspiration. That's one of the things he wants to do. Do you think it is going to encourage other people, especially kids, to try and think outside the box and do something that they might have been told they can't do?
Yeah, I really think so. James has got a really, really good way with people. He's a good communicator, and I think that the way he's gone about this project from the media aspect, I think he's going to follow this up by going into schools a bit more and talking to people. There's a lot of lessons that people could take away from this, and James is a particularly good person to communicate that. So I think he's a really good ambassador for Paralympic and able-bodied cycling, because he's quite, he's quite humble, and he's quite understanding of certain aspects of the sport, and he knows how to put a spin on that to make it understandable to someone who perhaps doesn't understand how cycling works. So certainly conversations we've had about core values that allow you to make the most of what you've been given, whatever skills you have, those are transferable to anything. So.
And finally, what's the ideal result today? What are you hoping for?
Well, for me, I'd really like him to do better than he thought he could do. I know that in training we were a little bit unsure as to what time he was going to do today. He says he's aiming for about a 2-minute 30-second pursuit time. I personally would really like him to go under that, largely because I think he's capable of it, and because just the look on his face will just be worth it all. And I think he knows that he's done as much as he can to be here, and he is a competitive rider. I mean, he doesn't really want to be here and not do as well as he can. Even though he's done all the right things to be here, if it doesn't work out on the day, it leaves you feeling a little bit empty. So I really hope that he'll do better than he thinks he can do.
Great. Are you nervous?
I'm a little bit now. I wasn't on the way here. Yeah, I mean, of course, as soon as you come in the velodrome and you see this many people in front of you, all the different boxes of people warming up, and you you almost forget before you arrive that this is a world championship. So James is doing sort of his opening able-body ride on the world stage, which is quite impressive. And as someone that's been involved in the project, I can't help but be a bit nervous in that sense. So
That's great. Thank you very much. Cheers. That was brilliant. Did you get that?
So it's Smith on the inside, Dublin and Tess on the outside.
James has just sat down on the
Sitting down?
Yeah, he's on the opposite side of the track to where we are. We're in the home straight, and he'll be starting in the back straight. So before a rider starts their event, they get called to the start line so that they're ready. To the commissars, who are the judges for the race, know exactly where they are and that they're ready to go.
Okay.
So as soon as the heat that's currently on now is over, these riders have a couple of laps to get off the track, and then James will be in the gate ready to go, and then he'll get the countdown and he'll be off. So any sort of last minute preparations have been done already, and he's just got to go and do it now. And he's got to tell himself that he can do it as well.
So how do you think he's going to be feeling now? If that was me, I'd be really terrified.
Yeah, I mean, sitting in that chair is one of the most nerve-wracking experiences of competition.
I can see him. Sorry, got him. Yep.
Yeah. When you do sort of like a road race, because the race is quite long, you have a long time to get into it, and the start isn't quite as tense. But an event like this, you've just got 2.5 minutes to give it everything you've got, and you know when you sit on the bike in that gate and that clock starts to count down and it beeps at you, then this is the only time you have left not to perform, and then you have to perform.
Right.
And if you let that get on top of you, it definitely can, it does sort of hinder your performance. But I think James's attitude is really good, and I think he'll know. He's just standing up now.
Yep. Does that mean he's on?
Yep, he'll be on in a minute. We're just waiting for the riders that are still starting to get on.
God, I can feel the jitters.
So if we look at the clock, the times that have already been, 2 riders that just finished with 6th and 7th in their qualifiers, and both of them did times that were slower than what James is expected to do. So
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so by the time James finishes his heat, he should be well placed. Unfortunately, there are still a lot of good riders to come, so I'm not sure what the benchmark time will be. It's hard to judge it because the temperature in the velodrome makes a very big difference to the times that are recorded, and it's quite warm in here today. So I think we will see some quick times. But I mean, that would be good for James as well, because it means that if he doesn't qualify as high as he wanted, he still should be able to walk away with a handy time, and he'll always have that to his name. I mean, certainly track riders endurance track riders are sort of judged by their individual pursuit times, and it is a badge of honour. So
Right.
James certainly will walk away with a well-regarded badge of honour, I think.
Brilliant. What sort of thing will his coach be saying to him right now, Chris? Oh my goodness, he's up.
Yeah, he's up.
Okay.
So
Presumably you're on.
Yes.
That's what he's saying.
So Chris
Whoa.
will be saying now that essentially you've got this,
Yeah.
You know, I've seen you in training, I've seen you do it before.
Yeah.
All you have to do is go out and do it again. the sort of the nerves kick in, and it's very easy to go out the gun, to go off the start line too quick. And when you come off the start, it's a big effort because you're on a big gear, because you've only got one gear. So it's very easy to go too hard, and you actually use a different energy system when you start.
Okay. Come on, James. Go, go, go. Oh my goodness.
Start.
Is that a good start?
Yeah, that's okay. And he's just building into it slowly. So his competitor on the other side of the track has had a slightly quicker start.
Okay.
James,
Come on, James, pick it up.
likes to build slowly. James is in 15th position at the moment in the qualifiers, but he'll soon move up.
I keep forgetting that he's in any disadvantage in the slightest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at him riding through the corner there, he's getting these corners much better now. Look at that. He's just drifting up a little high there, but
come on,
he'll come into it. So if you look at his time, he's about a second or 2 seconds off what I think he'll be aiming for. But he'll certainly pick it up as the race goes through.
That looks like a good position to me. I don't know much about it, but that looks quite solid.
Yeah, so that was what we really worked on, was getting his upper body in a really good position. And looking at this now, having worked with him to develop it, I'm pretty happy with that.
Good.
That's good. Yep, so he's moved up into 9th in the qualifiers, which means that he's building the pace.
Great.
And if you look at the gap between him and his competitor, it's coming down all the time. So he's now on his schedule to do his less than 2:30 time, which is ideal. He's looking really smooth at the moment.
Good.
This is perfect. Really good pursuit riding. Drifting up maybe a little high in the straights, but
Yeah. Is that when they take the corner? So he's got to try and stay by that black line?
yeah. So the black line is the shortest
Okay.
line around the velodrome. So every time you drift above it, you are riding slightly further. So that's a little
That's a bit
high
up,
there
yeah?
in that corner from James.
Yep. But he'll know that, right? Surely?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think that
Can feel it.
Yeah, as he goes through, it's just the important thing is that you hold a straight line through the corner. So on the corner just gone, he was hugging the red.
Right.
So he's a little high there, but he's bringing it back down slowly, and that's the best thing you can do is control.
What's that bell mean?
That means that there's one lap to go.
Are we allowed to shout?
Yep. So James is going to get his time next lap.
Come on, James!
Come on, James!
Come on!
Oh, come on, James.
Just get there first. Time 2:28.02.
Great, yes. So
Yeah, is that good?
3:28, 29. So he's gone quicker than he was hoping for, and he's averaging
Really?
more than 30 miles an hour.
Brilliant.
Which is really good.
Woo! Yay!
Yeah, so
Fab.
I'm really pleased with that.
Do you think will he be pleased? Is that good?
Well, knowing him, he'll be a little disappointed that his line through the corners wasn't quite right.
Right.
We did a lot of work on that. I mean, that really was the main thing that we worked on, was getting that line right. And I've seen him ride better than that, which is a little bit of a shame. But I think his actual time is still very, very good.
Unbelievable.
And I really
Really?
think he's done a really good thing there.
Quite
I hope
incredible.
He's really proud of himself, and he should be.
I hope he's pleased with himself.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's just amazing when you realise, because it's so easy to forget with him. I think if you try to imagine somebody doing what he just did, try to imagine doing it yourself and putting, pretty much a gauze blindfold on, and then doing cycling. Even the cycling on its own is quite remarkable.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, everyone that knows James knows that he doesn't let it get in the way of what he does in any way at all. And I mean, that's really clear in the training. I think one of the things that worked well in our relationship as coach rider was that I treated him how I would treat anybody else, and I didn't make any sort of compensation for the fact that he might not be able to do it as well, because he knows in himself he's capable of it. And so we were just really trying to bring it out of him. So, we were critiquing him like we would anyone else, because I know he can get there, and he knows he can get there. And I think today he did show that he's capable of it. And I think if he wanted to come back and do it again, he would still improve. And I hope that his cycling career does actually allow him to keep going, because I think the overall message of what he's doing, in the way that he was left without a pilot for his tandem race, and so he just decided to do it on his own. And the way in which he's approached training, I think that really needs to be carried on. And I hope that if James doesn't want to continue, that someone else does pick it up. And it would be really good to see more Paralympic cyclists racing in the able-bodied World Championships. I mean, there's no reason why, if they think that they can do it, then I believe they can do it too.
Excellent, thank you.